只要信念堅定，夢想就一定會成真。
Hi, welcome to the Silver Spleen. My name is Barry Bundini, and this is my review of The Great Magician. I didn't want to look forward to The Great Magician, even though it has a great cast and a director whose work I frequently admire. When you look forward to something, you have expectations, and expectations can be a bad thing, especially for viewing Hong Kong or China movies, especially in the last few years. The Great Magician is a story that takes place during the early part of the 20th century in China when Tony Leung plays a magician who shows up in town and proceeds to wow the men and woo the women with his skills. That hand sure makes women hot. He takes over a struggling restaurant and turns it into a magic theater, much to the previous owner's joy. The owner is played by Lam Sut, one of my favorite character actors, and a man I like to call the Luis Guzman of Asia. Lao Qingwan plays a warlord with 7 wives, which explains why he carries a gun. He takes a shine to the magician, but nowhere near the shine he takes to Zhao Jun's character, who has almost no desire to become wife number 8. The only way she could look less interested and more disappointed would be if I sat next to her. As you might surmise, there is of course more to things than meets the eye. And over the course of the film, the plot unfolds. There's intrigue. Deception. Spoiler. Zhao Jun is actually a Vulcan. Explosions. Who's been fucking around with my grill? Romance. You're getting sleepy and wet. And entertainment.
DJ 小 Tony 出緊碟喎!
Unfortunately, as the plot unfolds, it also unravels. The Great Magician's initial premise eventually falls apart, and the plot becomes so convoluted that it's impossible to follow, and then it's summarily abandoned and the movie becomes a farce. It also turns into a buddy film. Truth be told, it's a lot of fun to watch the 2 LCWs acting together again, and they're both good enough that you get pretty well distracted from the fact that the story went screaming off the rails like a... I was distracted by other things as well. It's not a bad movie, I guess. It's just that it becomes impossible and frankly unimportant to try and follow the plot line that was unfolding for the first 3/4 of the movie. It's still entertaining, but it's truly mindless entertainment. So this Derek Yee film was a great film for Chinese New Year, because so many Chinese New Year movies are essentially farcical in nature. Even if it wasn't a Chinese New Year film, I know one way this film would have worked. If Choi Hawk had been behind the camera instead of in front of it, I think it might have worked out a little better. I just wish that I'd waited to see it during Chinese New Year in the cinema instead of right before. Or I wish it had been marketed as a New Year movie a little more obviously. I would have interpreted the movie differently and probably enjoyed it more. It's a fun movie, but it's really a fun Chinese New Year movie. But hey, at least I should be grateful that the movie wasn't marketed as The Great People's Magician versus the Evil Japanese Invaders, which that kind of suggests. Now, like I said, this might not be the greatest movie ever made, but it is a really good Chinese New Year movie. It's a lot of fun, and I think you'll enjoy it under the right circumstances. In this case being that you understand it's a Chinese New Year movie and it's gonna get a little silly. So I think you should watch it, but I think you should wait until Chinese New Year to watch it. The other thing is, I don't want you to watch it online, and I don't want you to download it. If you want to see this movie, pay for it. If you can rent it, do that. If you can buy a disc, do that too. In the description, there's a link to where you can do just that. That would be lovely. If you enjoyed this review, please leave me a comment. If you didn't enjoy the review, leave me a comment anyway. I'm used to it by now. If you enjoy the channel in general, please think about subscribing. Also, please think about following me on Twitter and on Facebook, because I put things up there that you're not going to see in the reviews, like photos, short video segments, and other things. Thanks for watching. See you next time.